The Divine Will, Book of Heaven, January 29th, 1919. I had been venerating the wounds of my blessed Jesus, and in the end I recited the Credo with the intention of entering into the immensity of the Divine Will, for the actions of past, present, and future creatures are found, as well as the actions of who should have done, but that through negligence or malice they did not perform as intended. I said to Jesus, my love, I'm entering into your will, and I wish by this creed to perform the acts of faith that the creatures did not do for you, to repair for their doubts and to grant to God the worship due to Him as Creator. As I said this and various other things, I felt my intelligence lost within the divine will, and a light invested my intellect, in which I could see sweet Jesus. This light spoke to me a lot, but who could say everything? I feel like I'm going to speak confusedly, and I am extremely reluctant to do so. If obedience was only more lenient, it will not impose such sacrifices upon me. May you, my life, give me strength, and do not leave this poor and ignorant that I am all alone. It seemed to me that Jesus said to me the following: My beloved daughter, I want to inform you of the order of my providence. Every 2,000 years I have renewed the world. At the end of the first 2,000 years, I renewed it by the flood. At the end of the second 2,000 years, I renewed it by my coming on earth, where I manifested my humanity. Through it, as through a design, my divinity could have been guessed. The good and the most saints of the 2,000 years which followed this coming lived of the fruits of my humanity and enjoyed a little of my divinity. Currently, we are nearing the end of the third 2,000-year period, and there will be a third renewal. This is the reason for the current general confusion, which is nothing more than preparation for the third renewal. Upon the second, I manifested what my humanity did and suffered, but I made very little known of what my divinity did during this. Upon this third renewal, after the earth has been purified and much of the present generation destroyed, I will be even more magnanimous for creatures. I will achieve renewal by manifesting what my divinity has done in my humanity, as my divine will works in concert with my human will, how everything is linked in me, how I redid all things, how each thought of creatures was by me and sealed by my divine will. My love wishes to outpour by making known the excesses that my divinity has made in my humanity in favor of creatures, excess going well beyond what may have appeared on the outside. This is why I have told you so much about life within my will, which I had not shown to anyone beforehand. At most, they have known only the shadow of my will, a glimpse of the traces and gentleness that one experiences in accomplishing it. But in order to penetrate it, to embrace its immensity, to multiply with me, and to penetrate everywhere, as much upon earth as in heaven and in the arts, to abandon human ways and work in the divine way that is not yet known. Also, it will seem strange to many. Anyone who is not open-minded to the light of the truth will not understand any of it. Nevertheless, little by little, I will lead the way, manifesting one truth at one point, and at another point, yet another truth, so that something will be understood in the end. The first manifestation of life in my will had been made through my humanity. This one accompanied by my divinity, bathed in the eternal will, and seized all the actions of the creatures to give to the Father in their name a divine glory, and to give to each of their actions the value, the love, and the kiss of the eternal will. In the sphere of eternal will, I have seen all the acts that creatures could have done, but did not do, as well as their good deeds done incorrectly. I did the things that were omitted, and redid the things that were done incorrectly. Unfulfilled actions, as well as those which were not accomplished for me alone, remain suspended in my will, while waiting for the creatures who will live in my will, so that they can repeat everything that I have done for them. And I have chosen you as a link with my humanity, so that your will, being one with mine, may repeat my actions. Without this, my love cannot be fully outpoured, and I could not receive glory from creatures for all that my divinity has accomplished through my humanity. Consequently, the first objective of creation would not be reached. This objective, which is in my will and which must reach its perfection there, it would be as if I had shed all my blood without anyone knowing so. So who would have loved me? What art would have been stirred? No one. Within no art would my humanity have found its fruit. With these words I interrupted him, saying, "My love, if living in your divine will is good, why have you not manifested this truth before?" He continued, "My daughter, I firstly had to make known what my humanity had done and suffered externally in order to prepare souls to know what my divinity has done internally. The creature is unable to understand initially the meaning of my actions, and therefore I gradually manifest this. By the connecting link with me that you are, I will be attached by the links of other creatures. Thus, I will have a cohort of souls living in my will, who will remake all the acts of creatures. I will have the glory of all pending actions done only by me, as well as those done by creatures. This glory coming from all categories of creatures, virgins, priests, laity, each according to his status. These souls will no longer work humanly, but immersed within my will, their actions will multiply for all in a completely divine will. I will receive from creatures the divine glory for so many sacraments administered and received in a human way, profaned and covered with the mud of personal interests, as well as for so many so-called good deeds which dishonor me more than they honor me. I long for this time. Yourself pray and languish with me, and do not untie your connecting link with me, you the first.